Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to pack the Skywalk Pepper Cross Light. So here is everything you need. A pulley with a clamp cleat to keep the canopy and main lines tight, a thicker line to bind the packing loops, some new rubber bands, a tool to wind the line bundles, another tool to hold the main lines apart while packing, weights to hold the reserve chute canopy and panels in place while packing, the matching inner container, as well as the reserve chute itself. The reserve chute should be aired out for at least 12 hours before packing, and every single panel should be checked for damage. Also check the loop connection of the main lines to the main riser for any possible damage. Start by collecting the packing loops at the top of the rescue chute. Make sure that the packing loops for the four corners are positioned slightly lower on the canopy. The Pepper Cross Light 90 and 110 have 4 packing loops, each between the corners points, plus the 4 corners themselves for a total of 20 packing loops. On the Pepper Cross 135 there are 5 packing loops between the 4 corners for a total of 24 packing loops. Now connect the pulley with the thick line and the threaded packing loops to put tension to the rescue device. Then place the excess material inside the reserve chute. Now go down to the main riser and sort the main lines to eliminate any twisting. Then secure the main riser with a hook or carabiner. Next, pull the canopy and main lines tight with the help of the pulley and then secure it. Start by sorting the panels and begin with one of the 4 corners by placing it on the table. Now next, lay the panels in the right order on top of each other and secure them with a weight. Use your forearm to smooth out and flatten the channel and wrinkled fabric underneath. When you get to the second corner, you won't be able to place it in a rectangular fashion like the previous panels. Instead, it will look like a triangle. Position the next panel after the second corner with a small twist, as you can see in the graphic. The panels to the next corner can be laid neatly like a rectangle. Make sure that you smoothly brush the next panels at the top of the rescue chute on the inside with the help of your forearm. When you get to the next corner, which is now facing up, place the last panel again like a triangle and weigh it down with a weight. Now it's time to sort the second side. Do it the same as you did for the first side, starting with the bottom corner. At the middle corner on the second side, make sure again to turn the panel before placing it. And now, let's take care again of the rectangular panels. The second side is completely sorted when the upper corner of the first side is reached. Put a weight on both sides to secure the panels to the table. The panels of the reserve chute are placed correctly when a gap forms at the end through which you can see the table surface. In the interior of the reserve chute, push the surplus fabric upwards now by brushing it with the palm of your hand, and at the same time put tension on the center lines to the main riser. Put the excess material in the upper inner part of the rescue channel. Separating the center lines from the surrounding fabric in this way avoids burns on the canopy during a reserve chute deployment. Fold the canopy lengthwise in the shape of a double S. Do it the same way on the other side. The canopy is now sorted and can be released by loosening the pulley again. Make sure to remove completely the pieces of line from the packing loops to enable a flawless deployment of the reserve chute. Now release the main riser and secure it with a weight to continue working under light tension. Position the inner container at the top of the reserve chute so that the line pocket points towards the base of the reserve chute to the main lines. And now start folding the canopy zigzag into the inner container. Make sure that the lines end right at the line pocket and do not extend over the panel. This also helps to avoid burns on the rescue chute during deployment. Now close the first 3 flaps on the 4-leaf container. Secure the 3 flaps with the help of a line loop and make sure that the knot doesn't come through the rubber loop. This can otherwise delay or aggravate deployment. The corners of the inner container can now be better filled out and positioned by pressing on the reserve canopy itself. Now secure the line loop with the help of a pin to prevent unintended deployment as you continue to pack and sort the lines. Now take the line winder and go to the main riser from where we'll start laying the line bundles. Please note that at the end we still need some line length to close the inner container, so leave about 40 cm free before you start with the winding. Wrap the first line bundle crosswise 6 times. The second line bundle also 6 times crosswise. And the last bundle 5 to 6 times crosswise as well. You'll need some extra line length to store the line bundles in the line pocket. This is how your setup should look like now. The line bundles can now be removed from the winder and secured with a rubber band. Please make sure that the knot is not pushed through the rubber band to ensure a faultless deployment. That's the right way. Repeat this step for all ends of the line bundles. Make sure that you don't push the rubber bands more than 3 cm onto the ends. The line bundles can now be placed in the line pocket one after the other. Make sure to separate any wraps or loose lines from the fabric wherever possible. Attention! Make sure that you remove the securing aids, otherwise the reserve chute cannot be deployed. Now comes the final loop that closes the 4-leaf container. The second and final loop should point 90 to 180 degrees opposite the first loop and should not extend further than 3 cm through the rubber band. This is to prevent the snagging of both loops. The first loop now secures the canopy with 3 flaps of the deployment bag to prevent the simultaneous release of the reserve chute and lines, which could cause twisting or burns if released from an unfavorable. This ensures that the first lines unfold into the air space and then the canopy itself. At the end, you can still position the canopy somewhat in the container. The Papercross light is now packed and can be reinstalled in the harness. Please remember that a compatibility test has to be carried out every time you install a new reserve chute for the first time or when you install a reserve chute in a new harness. Thanks for watching.